Recording now.
Oh, wait, what's your name?
We'll
Like
just go
in
with
the
Kim. We'll just
thing.
go with Kim.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect. All right. Uh, okay. I just hit got it, right? Yeah, I got it.
perfect.
Hi, Kim. I'm so glad that we could meet today. I understand that you were wanting to talk about something. How can I help you out? Or how are you?
Yeah. Um, I I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm making a big deal out of this. But something my teacher said to me, like, I don't know, like it really hurt. Um, and I've just been like questioning myself, like, oh yeah, is it a big deal? Is it not? And I really like math, so I took a math test and I scored really high on it, like one of the highest in the class. And when I got my grade back, my teacher just said, "Wow, that's surprising since you're a girl." And that just it I don't even really know how to like describe my feelings with that. I just know that it kind of it was off-putting and it hurt.
I appreciate you sharing that with me. It's important that you express how these comments affect you. Can you tell me more about how you felt when she said that to you?
It was just I think I felt incompetent, which is weird because I did really good on the test. Like I just didn't like and I feel like I've gotten comments like that before, like in family settings. Like I'm just always hearing like, "Oh wow, that's surprising that you did that well on this." Like and it always seems to be given the nature like that I'm just a girl and like I feel like my dad compares me to, my brother all the time where it's like, "Wow, you actually did better than your brother on that." So when the teacher said that, I was like, "Really? Like the teacher thinks that too." It was just I don't know, it was really defeating is I think that's the best way to describe it is like I've tried really hard and I feel like I just can't keep up. Like I'm always trying to prove myself against guys, which I just don't know why it has to be a comparison game with them.
Mhm. I completely understand how that would be frustrating for you. And certainly comments like that are hurtful. And particularly when you've put a lot of effort into doing well at something and that is sort of stripped from you just because of something that is completely out of your control, like your gender, um, and something else was expected of you. I can see how that would be very defeating. And it certainly showed your teacher's, personal biases, which we all have, but she should have done a better job at navigating that. Um, how do you feel like, how do you feel like I can best support you in navigating something like this so that you feel equipped maybe the next time dad makes a comment like that, or you have a teacher who makes a comment um, that kind of hits you in this way and is offensive when you've put the effort into to doing well and that's not being recognized.
Um, I think I just kind of shut down when those things are said to me. I don't really know what to say. Like I don't ever really respond. It just shuts me off. So I wonder if there's like I don't know if you could help me know what to say next time to kind of
Yeah,
like defend myself.
you absolutely deserve the respect. And it's really important that you challenge people when they make assumptions like this instead of just bottling it up because you deserve to be heard and seen um, and voice that your hard work should not be diminished. because you are a female. So one way that we could approach this would be to come up with a strategy for things that you could respond with, that might make you feel more confident when you find yourself in these situations in the future. How does that sound?
That sounds great. I think that would be really helpful.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that we could help you to frame your accomplishments. For example, you could say, hey, I'm proud of my math score. It reflects my dedication and all the hard work I've put into studying. Um, that not only reinforces your achievements, but it kind of challenges their assumption that because you're a female, you're not good at math, which is a ridiculous assumption on their
Yeah.
part, but certainly one that is held by certain folks. So I think that saying something to that effect would help you to feel empowered the next time you come in contact with somebody like this, because it sounds like it's happened more than once and it's sort of one of those things that's kind of a triggering event for you. So
Yeah.
I'd like you to have a strategy or a coping mechanism to help you the next time you encounter something like that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So like just something like, hey, like I've studied hard. Like, what does this have to do with being a girl? Like,
Exactly. And being able to say that confidently, you earned that good grade, and you should get to enjoy and reap the benefits of of making it. um so I want to help you be able to voice your feelings about it, so it's just so that it's not bottled up, and then if you shut down to that teacher and that teacher has really great things to impart on you later with regard to math or any other subject in school, or you know that it's not missed because you've kind of shut that person out because they had these biases that were offensive to you. And honestly, the teacher can't grow either, not that that's your responsibility, but they can't grow either if they aren't given a little nudge to be like, hey, not appropriate. you know
yeah,
my math intelligence and my gender have zero to do with each other.
yeah.
I worked hard for this.
I
So
I feel that way too. Um, I think I just heard the bell and I probably need to get back to class.
all right. Well,
Um,
that sounds good. I just want you to remember I'm here for you, and I'm so proud of you for doing so well on your exam.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate that.
hopefully next time we'll be able to work more together on helping you to feel empowered and helping you to be able to pursue your goals.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
Thanks. All right.
All right.
Good job.
Yay. Uh,
You
okay. So
did.
do you have the questions pulled up?
Yes.
We have to
Give
keep
me.
recording and talk about it.
Okay. After, what would it have been like if it was real? Um,
So
yeah.
I, I mean, I'm sure it's awkward for you as the client, although I'll not talk for you. But as the counselor, you know, it's different than the last role play in and of the fact that I didn't commit the microaggression. So it
Hmm.
wasn't putting me quite at, I guess making me as like defensive immediately. So it wasn't as awkward, but it was it's still astonishing, I guess, to hear that people make these hurtful remarks openly and don't I don't know that they hold those biases. I mean, in genuinely in real life, I was in like a fifth grade advanced math class, and I still remember my teacher's name and everything. And he told me I went up to the whiteboard to do a math problem, And he was like, women really don't get jobs that have to do with math.
Oof.
So you, you know, if you get it right, great. But if not, don't really
Don't.
sweat it.
Oof.
And my mom was like the president of a bank and she ran the whole mortgage division of it. And I told her, and she was so furious. I mean, she was just like, she had worked hard to kind of break through those glass ceilings and then to hear it to her own daughter, at this many years later, feeling
Hmm.
like surely society's changed. And I think it was, it's just appalling that people make comments like that.
Yeah.
But that really did happen. So, I mean, I can absolutely relate. And it was like, I'm in this advanced math class. What is, you know,
Yeah. No, you have all the right to be good at math, to like math, to want.
yes. And my
That's
gender has
crazy.
nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So
So,
I think as the counselor, I think it's just appalling to hear. And then, there is a little bit of anxiety, I think, that I feel just in and of the fact that it's on the spot and you have to come up with some kind of strategy, to help the person. And obviously, you don't have knowledge ahead of time as to what they're coming in with. So,
hmm.
from that standpoint, being new to the profession, I think that can be hard. And then you question, was that a good strategy? Was that not a good strategy? Is that helpful or not helpful? So I think that would be my 2 cents on how it is from the counseling perspective.
Yeah, I like that. I think for me as the client, I think you did a great job with questions like you used the skills that were needed. And I think what I really liked is what you said right at the end is just like, I'm proud of you for that. And I
Mhm.
think in this kind of situation, like that's what the
A
person would have
student
needed.
needs.
That's what I would have needed. Because like I've actually had like those things said to me as well. Like my dad in real life says stuff like that. Where he's always like, wow, you got an A? That's surprising, like it's just
And you're like,
crazy.
"Dang."
So, and instead he could just be like, wow, I'm proud of you. That's awesome. And so I
Yeah,
think that was just relatable. And I think that in a real life situation, that would have been like super powerful.
yeah.
Um, um, let's see what else.
I wish I would have said something about not being defined by your stereotypes.
Hmm.
Like you have a voice, like your voice matters. But I'm sure there's always things you step away from a session and think, I wish I would have said that, but
Yeah.
live
I'm
and
sure it
learn.
happens every single time. I mean, that happens in like normal conversations with me where I'm like, oh,
Right.
could have said that
Absolutely.
differently.
100%.
Okay. And then what would you do for session number two?
I think I would revisit this, ask how you were feeling about it. Had you had any more instances like that? Maybe done like a quick little role play to as though I'm the person making that comment and let you, try whatever it is you have in mind to say back to them and see kind of how does that feel? Like, do
Hmm.
you feel like that was defeating, or do you feel like, hey, I pushed back a little? I had the confidence to push back and be like, hey, I studied hard for these grades and, you know, um, so I think that would be one thing I would do in session two. And then maybe to go one step further back than that, maybe work on self-confidence and so that you don't just shut down and not let your voice be heard.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that. I think that would be great. And
And
then
just continue
how,
to do things that empower you
yeah,
to
yeah.
have the confidence to speak up.
And then I think the other question is, how do you gain competence with diverse populations?
I think gaining your trust, and if you feel like I am offering you tools that are helpful to you that you feel like you could actually use, um, that's going to increase like the therapeutic alliance. And, I think anytime you have a frustration or something that's on your heart that's heavy, being able to talk to someone who's empathetic and attuned and listening and who's saying, "Hey, I hear you and I see you and I understand your frustration and I understand how you feel wronged." It's
Yeah.
always going to make somebody, want to, or just increase that therapeutic relationship. I mean, nobody wants to sit down and be like, why are you so, like, yeah, you are being a baby and you need to move on from this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not going to help. So I think just being a good listening ear, offering you suggestions for what you could do next, acknowledging that that person has personal biases. And by the way, so do we all. You know,
Hmm.
it's not out of the norm or necessarily just targeting you. I think all of those things can help to
Yeah, I
build.
love that. I agree. And the last question is, how do you answer clients' questions when you do not have the answers? Which you've kind of addressed
Yeah.
throughout. So,
So I think we can move on.
yeah, good job. You did great.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, I will stop recording.